Hello everyone, welcome to today's news charter. Before getting into the important topics of the day, let us have a look at a practice prelims question. Take a look at this question. This particular question is very important for your examination this year. I'm pretty sure in 2024 you can expect a good question at least from the northeastern part of India. If specific, they may ask from Manipur. So consider the following statements regarding the location of Manipur. Manipur has been in news regularly. So for 2024 prelims examination, you should have a very good idea about the geography of Manipur. It is a geography based question. Three statements are provided. Let us look at each and every statement one by one. Before that, you need to see how many of the statements given above is or are incorrect. So that is the keyword here. They are not asking for the correct option, they are asking for the incorrect option, so you need to focus on that. So let us see the first statement. Manipur is bordered by Nagaland to the north, which is correct. Tripura to the south, which is not correct. In the south of Manipur we have Mizoram, and Myanmar to the east, which is correct. So first statement is obviously incorrect. Let's go to the second one. The Tropic of Cancer passes through Impal, the capital of the capital city of Manipur, which is not correct. The Tropic of Cancer passes through Tripura and Mizoram, but it does not passes through Manipur. Manipur shares its border with most number of states in northeast, which is completely incorrect. Even someone who have a very basic idea about the map of India will tell in the northeast it is Assam, which is the biggest state, and it shares the border with most of the states. So all the three statements are incorrect. We can select the third option. India-Bangladesh ties. So when it comes to the mains examination, especially GS2, India and its relationship with neighboring countries is a very important topic. And one of the most important countries for India's international relationship is Bangladesh. So when we talk about India-Bangladesh relationship, the first point which you should always remember is the historical perspective. That is 1971 Indo-Pakistan War. It is also called as the Bangladesh Liberation War. So in this war, India supported Bangladesh, and which resulted in creation of Bangladesh itself. Bangladesh is India's largest trading partner in South Asia. How do you write an answer when they are asking you about India's relationship with a particular country? You need to divide it into multiple topics: historical perspective, economic perspective, political perspective, trade aspect, and science and technology aspect, if any, international groupings such as BIMSTEC, SARC, etc. And then you provide the reason context and then way forward. So that's how you need to structure your answer. Since 2010, India has extended line of credit. So India has been providing a lot of line of credit because Bangladesh is not economically developed. It is a low income country. So we have provided around $7 billion until now. Bangladesh imports nearly 2000 megawatts of electricity. Bangladesh imports a lot of electricity, especially from the hydroelectric projects of India. So that should be noted. BIMSTEC Master Plan for Transport Connectivity is an important topic, which connects major transport projects in India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Thailand. So these are all the basic things you need to know from India-Bangladesh ties perspective. It is important for this examination, this year's examination, because recently in Bangladesh, the prime ministerial election happened and Sheikh Hasina has won the election. So you need to know about it. Srimant Shankara Deva. So recently what happened, the opposition party leader Rahul Gandhi was traveling in Assam, and he claimed that he was not allowed to visit the birthplace of Shankara Deva. So whenever such things happen, you need to know about the personality. We do not have to get into the politics, but then we need to know about Shankara Deva because he is an important personality from GS1 perspective. It comes under art and culture topic of GS1. So Shankara Deva is a polymath and a saint. Polymath because he had multiple talents. He belonged to 15th to 16th century. He was a saint, he was a poet, he was a playwright, dancer, actor, musician, etc. What are his major inventions? He invented a new form of music called as Borgeet. Borgit is an important music in Assam. You need to know about it. Theatrical performance, he invented Ankia Nat and then Bhavana, which is also important. You need to remember. A very important dance form of Assam called Satriya was invented by the saint Shankaradeva. Literary language which he used was Brajavali. He started Ekasharna Dharma. Ekasharna Dharma is one form of Vaishnavite movement. It is a neo-Vaishnavite movement. So that you should remember. He created an assembly of devotees of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, and that got converted into satras. So satras are present even today. So you need to know that also. Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana was announced by our Prime Minister recently, immediately after the Ayodhya consecration. So he came back and he told that we are going to come up with a scheme which is going to target installation of rooftop solar on 1 crore houses in India. So this project is very important because India has committed itself for non-renewable energy target in the Conference of Parties 27. So, in order to achieve that, we need to promote rooftop solar. Apart from this, in several states, the electricity charges are very high. So, it is very important for domestic homes to start investing in solar rooftops so that their electricity charges will also come down. One of the biggest scope in India is for solar rooftop because at present in 2023 July 31 it was calculated that only 2.2 gigawatts of rooftop solar installation has been functional until now. So this shows that a huge scope is there. We just need to come up with a scheme which will provide the solar rooftops at a very minimal cost or provide with some subsidies. So the government will take care of it. It will come under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Ramnath Kovind committee is very important for mains examination specifically. This committee is very important. The former president of India, Ramnath Kovind, was given a very important task by providing a committee under him. The task was to know whether India can adopt one nation, one election. So, what exactly is this one nation, one election? At present, you know that in states, election happen on its own in a different time scale and all over the country for selection of the prime minister and then the council of ministers. A separate national election happens. So this has resulted in serious amount of expenditures. Too much of money goes out of it. A lot of instability happens. Regularly, some state government will keep changing. So this prevents the government to undertake any drastic and rapid measure. So in order to prevent that, an idea was there that all over the country, let the elections happen on a single day. On a single day, the national election will also happen, and then the state elections will also happen. So this high level committee was formed for that. Why was it formed? What are all the positives and negatives? You already know. You must have already studied. This news has been going on for a very long time. One important data which you can remember in 2014 elections, it was told that around 3,870 crores of expenditure happened. Apart from that, for every state election, think how much of expenditure would have happened. Another very big instability is model code of conduct. Whenever the national election happens, all over the country, model code of conduct will be there. Whenever state election happens, again, model code of conduct will be there. So during this time period, the government cannot function properly. It cannot implement all of its schemes. So this creates a lot of instability. It creates impact on the economy of the country also. The disadvantage, if one election is being conducted throughout the country, one of the major problem is if in case in a state government, let's say a government got collapsed. So what you will do? Because you are telling that the government will be elected today and then it will continue for 5 years. Let's say within 2 years the government gets collapsed. So again, you have to conduct an election. So if you conduct another election, then the time scale will get disrupted. So how do we manage this kind of issues? So that's a very big concern, which the committee might give a solution to. One important point which we should know whenever we study about these kind of topics, we should not just give general arguments. We need to come up with legal points. So SR Bommai versus Union of India is one of the most important cases which provided some clarity about one nation, one election. How and what did it tell? In SR Bommai versus Union of India, which happened in 1994, the Supreme Court of India declared that the states have an independent constitutional existence. So, if a state has an independent constitutional existence, it can have elections according to its own timeline, according to its own necessity. So, it acts against the concept of one nation, one election. However, we have to wait until Ramnath Kovind comes up with a answer to all the questions and all the confusions. Let's move to the next one. The mains question of the day: critically examine the merits and demerits of the concept of one nation, one election. Merits, of course, you know what the concept is. We have just discussed about it. Merits, we can tell that it will reduce the expenditure, it will reduce the instability, it will ensure that unity happens in the country, because all over the country a single day election is happening. So people will consider national arguments more than regional arguments. It will be against regionalism, against secessionism, etc. And it will provide a lot of stability. So these are all the advantages. Disadvantages are same what we discussed earlier. If a state government collapses, then what will we do? And state related politics and state related factors will take a backseat when we are discussing a single election for throughout the country. So these kind of points can be discussed for demerits, and then you come up with a way forward or a conclusion. One important point which you can quote in your answer when you are writing your mains examination: Section 139 of the BSF Act 1968. Section 139 of the BSF Act. So why this particular point is in news? Recently, what happened? The Punjab government accused the central government by telling that by providing more power to the BSF, you are trying to go against the federal structure of the constitution. So what exactly happened? In 2021, the government of India came up with a notification which extended the power of the border security force to 50 kilometers from the border. So when the BSF can function from 50 kilometers from the border, that means a lot of the area of the state government comes under the border security force. So the state government claims that it is against federalism. But when we have to control terrorism, when we have to control drug menace, which is coming from the other part of the border, we have to provide a certain extra powers to the BSF. So here the way forward is very simple. It is for the BSF and the state government to act together, come up with a mechanism to act together to prevent all kind of crimes. And then the central government should provide such powers to the BSF or any central agencies only if there is an absolute necessity, only based on the proof it has to provide, else it should not provide. So that should be the way forward. One important point for prelims examination about mosquito fish. Two important fishes are there: Gambusia affinis and Gambusia holbrooki. So these two fishes, one Gambusia affinis and Gambusia holbrooki, are very famous in United States of America because they are famous and well known because they consume the mosquito larvae in a stagnant water. So in India, what happened is people thought we can introduce these fishes in stagnant waters, in lakes, etc., so that they will kill all the mosquito larvae. But what happened is these fishes have started taking over the entire ecosystem. Instead of eating just the mosquito larvae, they have started eating and consuming the local flora and fauna also, and they have started to dominate the entire ecosystem, which is against the concept of biodiversity. From prelims examination point of view, remember the names, very important. So what is the solution for this? The solution is very simple. Instead of introducing some fish variety from outside the country, try to introduce some native variety so that it will not result in an impact to the biodiversity of the country. So that will be all for today. All the best. Study well. Let's meet tomorrow.